This weekend is the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. I believe it is going to be an amazing, amazing weekend. Now, let's be very honest here. I don't have any predictions to make. It's kind of weird. I sat down with a piece of paper, I guess, a pad of paper, a composition notebook, and I sat down. I was like, who do I think is going to win every game this weekend? Making, my normal process for predictions, and I'm like, I have no idea. And I sat there and I I wrote a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I still don't have any idea. And a day went by, and I cleaned my entire apartment, kind of putting off like, oh, if I start cleaning, it'll come to me and I'll figure it out. And I cleaned the whole apartment. I'm like, I still have no idea who's going to win these 4 football games. I've got a lot of respect for every single team here. So on Saturday, the Bengals play at Tennessee and the 49ers play at Green Bay. And on Sunday, the Rams play at Tampa and the Bills play at Kansas City. And in my opinion, these are probably the best matchups all year. I guess all season of this football season. I think it's going to be an amazing weekend of football. And rather than share who I think is going to win, I'm going to tell you who I want to win. And not because I love one team and hate the other. It's more because of the outcomes of what it could lead to and what the victors this weekend and how they could set up next weekend in the AFC and NFC division titles, the championship games going into the Super Bowl. So the Bengals play at the Titans, and I go, look, I love Cincinnati. I'm rooting for Cincinnati. I'm not going to lie. Now, I don't hate Tennessee, but I love Joe Burrow. I love the Bengals, love what's going on in Cincinnati. And the reality is I could see a reality where Tennessee runs all over Cincinnati and they get destroyed because Derrick Henry and the running game of the Titans is dominating. I could also see a reality where Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd just go crazy and dominate the Titans. So I think it's going to be a very weird game in Tennessee where the Bengals throw the ball very, very well. Cincinnati runs the ball very, very well. I think both defenses are pretty similarly matched. I think Cincinnati's got a better quarterback. The Titans have a better coach. It's a weird matchup. I'm going to pick Cincinnati. Pick is the wrong word there. I want Cincinnati to win because when I look ahead at the AFC Championship game, whether it's Buffalo or Kansas City that wins on Sunday, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, which quarterback do I want to play against either one of those guys? I want Joe Burrow against Josh Allen or Joe Burrow against Patrick Mahomes. That sounds like a lot of fun to watch. And so I find myself rooting for Cincinnati on Saturday in game number 1 of the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. How about the 49ers at the Packers? So every single game this weekend, all 4, I feel really conflicted on. This is probably the one game I feel the strongest about, which is I very much believe that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this football game. They've got a better roster. They've got a much, much better quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Nobody's going to argue that. Nobody's going to debate that. And even though the game's in Green Bay, I still feel a lot of pause because let's look at history. In 2019, the 49ers beat the Packers 2 times. And in 2018, the 49ers lost 33-30 with a backup quarterback playing the Packers. Historically, the 49ers play the Packers very, very well. So I'm like, what's going to happen here? I could see it going either way. I very much believe the Packers are going to win this game, but I'm not going to count out the 49ers completely because I respect what they've done this year. They deserve to be here. They worked very hard. They won a lot of games. They beat a lot of teams to get here. And Jimmy Garoppolo, for all his problems, right? Jimmy G has made some bad throws and done some bad stuff this year. But he's also made some good throws. And at certain critical moments, he's played very well. So I'm like, I really don't know. I think that 8 out of the 10 times the Packers beat the 49ers, but there always is a shot the 49ers could beat Green Bay. And I want the Packers to win because the optimal outcome for the NFC title game, in my opinion, I really, really, really want Tom Brady to play against Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. But think about this for a second. So on Sunday, the Rams play at Tampa. Here are the potential quarterback matchups for the NFC Championship game. They're kind of wild. You have either Aaron Rodgers against Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's a former Lions quarterback playing against a quarterback who's played a lot and lost to Aaron Rodgers. Or you could have Jimmy Garoppolo. If the 49ers win and Tampa wins, then you got Jimmy Garoppolo against his former mentor, Tom Brady. Imagine Tom Brady playing against his backup to get into the Super Bowl. That's crazy. That's fun. There's a good storyline there. If the Rams and 49ers both win, which would be crazy, but that's possible, that would also be interesting. There's a lot of beef between these two teams, and they played each other. This would be the 3rd time the Rams and 49ers have played each other this year. And remember, in Week 18, the 49ers beat the Rams to get into the playoffs at all. And so, oh my gosh, it's great. Now, to me, the best possible outcome is Tom Brady against Aaron Rodgers, these two Hall of Fame legendary quarterbacks duking it out to get into the Super Bowl. But so like I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, not because I hate the 49ers and I hate the Rams. I think the Rams are going to really, really compete with Tampa. I mean, the Rams have, man, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, Aaron Donald. Like, they have people that could make Tom Brady's life hell, frankly. I mean, you got an injured offensive line potentially in Tampa against a really, really good Rams defensive line. And Jalen Ramsey, who could probably, I would not be shocked if Jalen Ramsey just followed Mike Evans around all day. And I think it's very possible we see a lot of, a struggling from Tampa's offense. How much do you trust Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford won a game where he was 13 for 17 last week and barely, they ran the ball very, very heavily. They didn't throw the ball very much. If they have to throw the ball more in this game, which I think they're going to have to do because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the best run defense in the entire NFL, do you trust Matthew Stafford to win the game with his arm against this really good Buccaneers defense? I think we're actually going to see a defensive battle between the Rams at Tampa. I want Tampa to win. Again, I want Tom Brady against Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not going to commit to anything because I'm like, the only prediction I can make is I think both defenses are going to have a lot of success and some good plays. And I'm letting you know, I want Tom Brady to win because I want Tom Brady versus Rodgers, but it's nothing against the Rams. I got nothing but respect for the Rams and what they've done this year and the team they've put together. And, the Rams are fighting really hard to try to get to a Super Bowl so they can play at home potentially, assuming California doesn't. I don't think California is going to make anything happen, but there is a possibility the Super Bowl could be moved to Texas if something happened with the Rona. But how crazy would it be to watch Matthew Stafford play against Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay to get to go back home to LA to play in the Super Bowl? I mean, that's a wild story right there. Now, Bills at Kansas City. In my opinion, this is oh my gosh, I think this is the best game of the weekend. Like Sunday's games, Saturday's got Cincinnati against Tennessee, which I think is good, but has a chance to, one side could win, blow out the other. And I think Green Bay has a chance to blow out the 49ers, but these are two legendary historic football teams. Rams at Tampa, amazing matchup. And then Buffalo at Kansas City. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is a game that if I could, I kind of wish this was the game to get into the Super Bowl in the AFC rather than, I think this might be a better game than the potential AFC Championship game will be because these are probably the two best teams in the AFC playing against each other. I love Buffalo. I'm rooting for Buffalo. Not because I hate Kansas City, but because Buffalo they're kind of a new team back into, the playoffs, and Kansas City's been here a lot, and nothing against them. I just would really enjoy seeing Josh Allen compete for a shot to get into a Super Bowl or maybe even get to a Super Bowl. That sounds really fun to me. Now, let's acknowledge something. Kansas City has a better quarterback. Like, I love Josh Allen. He's elite. He's amazing. Patrick Mahomes is better. And they've got a better coach, Andy Reid or Sean McDermott. Andy Reid's a better head coach than Kansas City, than Bills head coach Sean McDermott. So KC has got a better coach and a better quarterback. And by the way, a quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, that is playing, I think, the best football of his career, which sounds crazy. Like, he's won MVPs, he's done amazing stuff, but right now, Patrick Mahomes is making really, really good decisions and being very, very smart with the football, and it blows my mind. And so, man, it's a toss-up, really. I think it's going to be an incredible matchup. Like, remember, this is a Buffalo team that scored on every single possession last time they had the football in their last playoff game against Bill Belichick and the Patriots defense. Like, this is not against any defense. And so, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect any team here. I think every single team here has the right to be here, has earned the right to be here, and played very, very well all year. I want Cincinnati and Buffalo to win because I want Josh Allen against Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship game. That sounds really fun. Like, just, oh my gosh, two young quarterbacks who are new to the scene. That sounds fun to me, but what we're probably going to get, knowing that hope, and because disappointment seems to follow me everywhere. Not really. I mean, life's good, but we'll probably get Mahomes versus Tennessee. But that sounds like the least interesting AFC Championship game. And I think Kansas City would handle Cincinnati a lot more easily than Cincinnati would compete with Buffalo. But I worry that if KC beats Buffalo, Kansas City is going to dominate Cincinnati or Tennessee. Whereas I think the Bills, not because they're not as good a team, but just because I think that for some reason I got a better feeling about that. And then I really want the Packers to play Tampa in the NFC Championship game because I really, really want Tom Brady against Aaron Rodgers. And think about the possibilities here. We could get Aaron Rodgers against maybe the next Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow against A-Rod. We could get Tom Brady against Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. Like, the possibilities for the Super Bowl here are amazing. But I really, truly believe this could be the best weekend of matchups all year in the NFL. And I don't know. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not going to make it. I have no idea what's going to happen. That's what makes it beautiful. And I'm very, very excited to see how things play out this weekend in the NFC divisional round of the playoffs, or the NFL divisional round of the playoffs, not NFC. I love you. I appreciate you. Enjoy football this weekend. It's going to be so much fun. And I'm curious who you guys want to win. What's the best, most interesting matchup in your mind? Please write in, let me know. I want to hear from you guys, and I want you guys to tell me who you want to win, who you think will win, and feel free to write in with any kind of anger. Like, I'm sure, Chiefs fans are like, you hate our team. You always pick against Kansas City. No, I really want to see Buffalo. Buffalo's never been here before. That sounds interesting to me. I don't hate anybody, but I want Josh Allen against Joe Burrow and Brady against Rodgers. That sounds more fun to me. So, let me know who you want to win this weekend in the NFL divisional round of the playoffs.